What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's the one and only Melchizedek in Upland, James Williams. And I previously recorded a video today for this channel, but I wanted to go back and do it again and be more succinct with what I'm saying and what I'm seeing and what I'm experiencing. Now, in the previous video, it was live where I recorded me trying to get property over here. And I just got beat out by the competition. That's fairness, and that's what happens. But what I'm seeing right now, in this game is worrying me. And what I mean by that is, okay, so it's a catch-22 in this game at this point in time. So because the collections and the anticipated collections give such great bonuses to people, and they artificially inflate values based on the location, and you're trying to translate real world value into virtual value. The problem is real world growth happens over time, and what we're doing in this game is we're instantly adding value to these virtual assets. But the problem that we're running into is that it's going to take forever for this Los Angeles city to mint out. I said this over and over again, but it's really starting to concern me. And I think we're going to go into the first fucking property recession here in Upland very, very soon, because you can see where people are targeting what is pretty much only what's anticipated to be collections. And you can't fault people for that because it's incentivized. I'm not saying that they should remove collections. It's a great idea. But what that causes is it causes all these other areas to not be minted out. And then therefore, the overall floor value of the game doesn't really increase. Now, you'll see where the floor value increases for certain stuff. Like it may show you that the floor value in Los Angeles may be $100,000, and it would be justifiably so be $100,000, but it's neighborhood by neighborhood, not even neighborhood by neighborhood, really street by street. So if you're not getting the streets that are part of the collection, what we're going to find is what we've seen. This is all North LA. We're going to see the same thing happening, where it just takes forever for this to mint out. And so now my money's trapped in this game while I wait for all of this to be minted out. Is it an opportunity? Yeah, you could look at it as a great opportunity. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but at the same time, it's going to cause issues in the long run. So my approach at this point in time, early I was fighting to try and get some stuff on Ventura Boulevard, and I was fighting to get some stuff over here. And what I'm starting to realize now is that it's inconsequential at this point in time. The collections that you have, or what you're going to have, in my case, I believe the only thing I'm really going to be able to get out of is going to be these 9 properties here, the stuff I have on Venice Boulevard, so I'm trapped with those 21, maybe this one right here. Let's see if we can just move this now. But I'm seeing where I alluded to it being a money pit. Let's see what people are selling for in this area right now. But I don't like 300,000. I don't really see somebody paying 300,000. 5 million, 350,000, 250,000. I mean, I don't see people doing that. I'll flip this now since everybody prices are so high and cash out. If it'll allow me to do that, I'll try and cash out of this at sell 100,000, which is a good deal for everything else that's being offered in that area. But what we're seeing everywhere else is we're not seeing any transactions anywhere else in the game because we don't have that number of players. I had one transaction go through on Ocean Avenue for 35,000 UPX, but that's Ocean Avenue. That's in San Francisco, one of the first cities to start. So that's an isolated thing. So I see us going into a recession, which just means slow growth in this game, because there's so many properties that need to be minted. I mean, there's a lot of shit that has to be minted. And for me at this point in time, um, the fight for the collections is so intense, it's so heavy that you're lucky if you get one or two, and if you get one or two, you should be happy. But I just don't know how this is going to play out in the near future. I think this game is going to be slow and it's going to be stagnated. If they attempt to roll out another city, which I wouldn't until this was completely minted, um, it's going to just carry over, or we're just going to have LA that's just sitting there with a whole bunch of unminted properties. I can tell you now that based on the activity that I'm seeing, I don't think people have the bread. I mean, you got some big boys who got the bread, and you got some people who probably put more money into the game. And that may be what the developers want. They want you to put more USD in the game, and that's fine. But I just don't. I'm finding it hard to understand why a person would dump more USD into this at this point in time. Not saying you shouldn't. Not saying I won't. I'm just from an investor standpoint finding it hard to understand why somebody would. So I'm going to be cashing out of LA as soon as possible and waiting. I'll probably end up holding all of this over here, this in Eagleton, but I'm going to be cashing out as fast as possible and waiting for the next city. Now, if that takes a month, 2 months, 3 months, I really don't care at this point in time, because the game is, at this point in time, all about the collections in order for you to be able to move it and flip property. So if you're not getting something that's an anticipated collection, and we know because of the vanilla openings, all you're doing is you're anticipating what might or might not be a collection. But if you're not in that area and you don't have one of those, I just don't see you being able to flip. I had a friend of mine who flipped something for 100,000, which was great. I just don't see it working out because there's such a plethora of property on the market. Why do I need to buy? Why would someone buy my property here on Crenshaw when there's an abundance of property on Crenshaw? I mean, there's literally an abundance of property on Crenshaw to be bought, or within the vicinity of Crenshaw, with the exception of Crenshaw being a collection, and then to the right and to the left of it, it's just unminted property as far as the eye can see. So one of the things we have to do is, because we're spending real money, we have to be realistic, and understanding what's going on and figuring out how we're going to take advantage of what's going on. So if I get into one of these low budget areas over here, I think I got like 52,000. I'll dump that 52,000 there. But outside of that, I'm probably going to cash out and see if I can get some property in the next city, because this is just not adding up. It really isn't. With that being said, guys, that's the end of my video for today. I will holler at you guys later. For me, I think this is going to be my biggest money pit and going to be my biggest loss. Can I still sell properties in other areas? I still have a whole bunch of stuff in Chicago. I sold my New York, but I still have a whole bunch of stuff in Chi-Town that I can move. Where the hell is Chicago? I still have a whole bunch of Chi-Town that I can move and raise capital. But I'm just not sure the right direction at this point in time, because I feel like I just got sucked into a money pit. I could be wrong, but I've been investing in real estate for a long time. And yeah, I think I got sucked into a money pit. I really think I did. So we'll see. We'll see. You'll know, or we'll know over the next couple of days. I anticipate them rolling out the collections, this spur of activity, which ought to dump cash into people's pockets. And once they're flush with cash, flush with UPX, then we'll see a lot more activity. But this is going to take a while. And so since I know it's going to take a while, and since I'm not getting what I want to get, I think I need to chill for a second, not be emotional, not just be doing all kind of crazy shit, not get, not FOMO in, because I don't see it going anywhere. Like I just don't see it going anywhere anytime soon. So this needs to play out a little bit more before I put any more USD into it. But I will do what I can to pull USD out. Let's just test the market real quick. And let's see, what was this? Cost me, what's that, $100? It's cost me $99. Let's just see. Let's test the market again and see if anybody's interested. I'll be happy as fuck if somebody took these off my hands, because I will literally go buy some real property with this in the real world. But we'll see. But we're gonna sell all this shit for real USD, and it's gonna sit there. Mm, 185. Offer for sale. Boom. Boom. Let's take this off and look at it one more time. So 75 and 75. Let's double our money on that. So let's do 165 on that one. All right. In fact, let's just move all this. Let's sell this for $50. I anticipate this shit sitting here a while, and I don't anticipate coming back outside of just checking to see what's going on. I make $10 on that. 55. Alright, so I exceeded the amount of USD I can sell for, and that's fine. Alright, so that's kind of where we at right now, guys, as far as I'm concerned. Where I'm at, not we, but where I'm at. I just don't see how it's going to play out, because it's just way too much unrented property. I mean, it's literally insane. And I could be wrong. 10 years from now, you know, well, a year from now, I think it may take a solid year for this to mint out. But a year from now, this shit might be hot, steamy relations. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody wants some of it. But right now, I just don't see it, man. I just don't see it. Let's just do a check. Make sure I'm not lying to myself. Yeah. I just don't see it. I see people minting the cheap shit and getting what they can get. All the FSAs going. But I just don't see... What's the price on this? Yeah, I just don't see this thing being minted out. Alright, with that being said, it's the one and only Melchizedek. I'm out of here. This is going to be my official video for today. I'll catch up with you guys later. Peace.